There's a moment that sneaks up on all of us, a moment that doesn't come with warning bells or dramatic fireworks. It's quieter than that. It's subtle. You might be doing something ordinary, washing the dishes, folding laundry, driving home from somewhere you've been 100 times before, and then, out of nowhere, this thought arrives. Something has to change. At first, you can't quite name it. Life looks the same. You're doing everything you've always done. Maybe people even tell you you're doing well. But underneath all of it, there's this deep down knowing that something inside you is stirring, that what once felt like enough no longer fills you, that the things that used to keep you going no longer bring the same meaning. It's not a crisis, it's not a breakdown, it's something more sacred than that. It's the beginning of an awakening. Maybe you've been strong for too long. Maybe you've poured yourself out until your own cup ran dry. Maybe you've given so much of yourself to everyone else that you're not sure what's left for you. Or maybe it's just time. Time to finally listen. Time to look inward. Time to ask the questions you've been too busy or too afraid to ask. And if that's where you are right now, I want to say this gently but clearly. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're just being called back to yourself. There is wisdom in that ache. There is truth in your restlessness. And there is power in your decision to pause, to reflect, and to choose something different. So if your heart has been quietly wondering what comes next, if you've been craving something deeper, something quieter, something real, if you're ready to let go of what's no longer serving you and make room for what still wants to bloom in you, then this is your invitation. What if 90 days alone could change everything? Let's begin. Chapter 1, The Whisper of Solitude. There comes a moment in life, not always loud, not always dramatic, when the world just doesn't feel the same anymore. You wake up, and even though everything around you looks familiar, something inside you feels different. You go through the motions, talk to the same people, drive the same roads, wear the same clothes. But underneath it all, there's a quiet emptiness. Not depression, not despair, just a soft ache, like your soul is whispering, asking you to slow down and pay attention. Maybe you've noticed it, that faint inner voice, the one that used to be drowned out by work, kids, goals, responsibilities, and noise. But now the noise has faded, or maybe you've just gotten tired of it. And that voice, it's still there, asking things like, who am I now? What is the purpose of all this? Have I really lived my life for me? What am I still holding on to? And what's left to become? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? To realize that while life has been full, it might not have always been fulfilling. That you've done everything you were supposed to, but never had time to ask what you truly wanted. That maybe, just maybe, there's still something out there for you, or better yet, something still in you, waiting to be known. And this isn't about throwing everything away. It's about being honest. It's about pausing long enough to hear yourself again. Because in the stillness, something sacred is trying to speak. And maybe for the first time in a long time, you're ready to listen. So I want to ask you something. What if you stepped away, not forever, not in anger, not in escape, but with intention? What if you gave yourself 90 days of solitude, not loneliness, but sacred space? What if 90 days alone could change everything? Chapter 2, The Weight We Carry. We all carry stories that don't get told, memories we don't mention, losses we've absorbed in silence, regrets that visit us when the house is quiet and the lights are low. We've spent years putting others first, showing up, doing what needed to be done. We've been strong for the people we love. We've been consistent, reliable, responsible. And in all of that showing up, something in us went quiet. It's not that we regret our choices. It's not that we resent our roles. But there's a heaviness to constantly holding space for others while rarely having space held for ourselves. It's like we built a life where we became the background of our own story. And when things begin to change, when the kids move out, when careers slow down, when the people we love pass on, or when we look in the mirror and see a face older than the one we still feel inside, it forces us to ask, what's left of me? What did I forget along the way? Sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go of the past. It's realizing that we never truly got to meet ourselves outside of it. We've lived for others, lived for approval, lived for survival, but have we ever truly lived for truth? And this is the weight I'm talking about. Not just the grief, not just the memories, but the longing for something real, something quiet, something honest. And the only way to meet that longing is to slow down long enough to feel it, to name it, to face it. You are not weak for wanting space. You are not broken for needing time. You are human, and you deserve to carry less. Chapter 3, The Power of a Sacred Pause. We live in a world that rewards noise, productivity, speed, accomplishment. We're told to stay busy, stay moving, stay distracted. Stillness is almost seen as laziness. Quiet is mistaken for absence. Solitude is confused with loneliness. But solitude, when chosen with intention, is not isolation. It is sanctuary. It is sacred. It is where the real self lives. Think of all the voices you have listened to over the years. Teachers, parents, partners, bosses, culture, media, expectations, and all of them shaping who you were supposed to be. And maybe now, for the first time, you're wondering what your voice actually sounds like without all of that noise. That's where solitude comes in. It's not a punishment. It's a return to your core, a return to the wisdom you've carried all along, but never had the time or silence to hear. In solitude, you don't have to perform. You don't have to explain. You don't have to be anything but true. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to fall apart. You are allowed to begin again. And yes, it's vulnerable, because in solitude, nothing distracts you from your truth. The memories come, the regrets come, the dreams come, the longing comes, but so does the clarity. So does the peace, so does the quiet strength that was never gone, just buried. Solitude is not about leaving the world. It's about preparing to re-enter it more whole, more awake, more real. It is a sacred pause, and it is powerful beyond words. Chapter 4, What 90 Days Can Do. So what actually happens in 90 days? The first 30 days will test you. You'll feel restless. You'll question your decision. You'll want to give up. You'll crave distraction like a drug. Every part of you that's been conditioned to stay busy will rebel. And that's normal, because when the outer noise fades, the inner noise gets louder. This is the detox, the unlearning, the shedding. You start to see how much of your life has been driven by momentum and expectation. You feel raw, tender, exposed. And in that exposure, you begin to see the truth, not all at once, but in glimpses. You start to notice the way your thoughts run on autopilot, the way you rush through even your own healing, the way you avoid yourself without realizing it. Then the next 30 days arrive, and something shifts. You stop fighting the quiet. You begin to soften. You start waking up with less urgency. You notice how the light enters your room in the morning. You drink your coffee slower. You begin to listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. This is when your real voice begins to emerge. You start remembering who you were before life got loud. You begin to mourn the parts of you that never got a chance to thrive. And you begin to forgive yourself, others, even time itself. You begin to hear God again, or nature, or the deepest part of your soul. Whatever name you use, it meets you here. And then come the final 30 days. This is where clarity begins to form. You no longer want to return to the life you had, at least not in the same way. You start asking new questions. Who do I want to be? What do I value now? What do I want to give the rest of my life to? And the beautiful thing is, your answers don't have to be grand. They just have to be true. You may not want a new career or to move across the world. You may just want simplicity, peace, meaningful connections, time in nature, quiet mornings, authentic living, and that too is transformation. 90 days may not fix everything, but it can begin everything. Chapter 5, Common Fears, Honest Truths. I know the fears. I've heard them. I've lived them. What if nothing changes? What if I'm alone and I hate it? What if all I find is pain? What if it's too late? And here's what I can tell you. Solitude is not easy, but it is honest. It will strip you of your illusions. It will ask you to face things you've avoided. It will bring up emotions you thought you buried, but it will not leave you there. The silence is not empty. It is full of everything you have ever needed to hear, and it's waiting for you. And no, it is not too late. I've seen people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s reclaim their light. I've watched people start painting, writing, dancing, forgiving after decades of silence. The heart does not age. The soul does not retire. And it is never too late to return to yourself. You are not behind. You are on time. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again. If this spoke to you, I'd love for you to be part of this growing community. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. This space is for healing, for reflection, for real connection. Thank you for being here.